You're listening to Sit, Talk, and Listen podcast with your hosts, Payroll Rob and Xavi Bauer.
Hey, hey, we are here. Hello, everybody. Hello, Xavi. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Feels good to. It's a good time to be alive.
There you go. Today is March, and it is March 5th, 2025. We're happy to be here. It was a little impromptu, kind of. We didn't necessarily long plan this one out, but we both realized we had some time today. Would be our best chance to get a pod in this week. So we're getting together, and like I said, March 5th, 2025. A few national days to recognize today, Xavi. What do you think? We got National Multiple Personality Day. So
why is that a national day?
We celebrate Multiple Personality Day by embracing all the unique sides of yourself and those around you.
What does that even mean?
I guess it just means don't judge people for acting crazy. You got me. But we got ourselves a national day for it.
I do think that everything that used to be like up until, what do you say, the first 10,000 years of humanity, these are all just personality traits, and then we call them disorders, and now we're like, let's celebrate this.
I guess.
I think tomorrow is National
Schizophrenia Day.
Beat your wife because she pissed you off day. It's crazy. We used to frown upon that, but now it's like, let's celebrate everybody's personalities.
Yeah, all inviting, all accepting. That's a good thing.
No, it's not. There's got to be a fine. This is the first time I'm hearing this, and this is where we cross. I'm fine with the have your national. How
about this?
Chicken nugget day.
Today is also National Cheese Doodle Day. So
what is that?
It's like a cheese poof. Like a Cheetos, like a cheese.
A
poof.
Cheeto puff day.
Yeah, but cheese doodle is kind of like a more universal term.
Dumber than multiple personalities.
Really? Why? Because you think of like a dog when you hear doodle. So
it's just nobody calls them a cheese doodle. I'll give you $10,000 $10,000 if you call someone up right now, describe what you're describing, and say, "What do you call this?" If they say cheese doodle over Cheeto puff or cheese puff, $10,000.
If British Steve was still in my life, he would be my phone call right now. Because I guarantee he would say, "There's a cheese doodle, mate."
Yeah, but they also call cookies biscuits, and it's the same country that
French fries chips, or isn't that the deal?
England needs us more than we need them.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them, kind of.
Well,
they colonized us, baby.
Well, we separated from them pretty handily.
Yeah,
we need it.
A little revolutionary action.
And maybe we would be calling a cheese doodle if that war went the other way, but I'd rather celebrate 50 personalities than ever celebrate a cheese doodle.
All right,
when I think of doodle, I think I'm like just in class, bored,
SpongeBob Doodle Bob from SpongeBob.
This is the dumbest national day ever.
Maybe there's
go back and read what is this multiple personalities.
So the description that they give for that is celebrate Multiple Personality Day by embracing all the unique sides of yourself and those around you. So yeah, that's what.
Well, we shouldn't.
You shouldn't. You don't.
There are sides of yourself you should be improving, not celebrating.
Embrace all unique sides of yourself.
Oh,
it doesn't say embrace all the bad sides of yourself, just the unique sides.
Unique. That's the thing. Is everybody wants to be so unique. People are clamoring to be like, I'm so weird. I like this. Mm-hmm. I'm so weird. You're not weird. Anything you like right now, 50,000 other people in the world also like.
Yeah.
You're not weird. And I want to just say this.
You're not special. You're not unique.
Yes.
Jump in line.
Yes.
Stop trying to be better than everybody else.
And I'm in a great mood. And this is not me being negative.
No,
I'm just trying to bring humanity down a peg or two because like everybody, oh my gosh,
ego.
I'm so quirky and gosh, like
nobody understands me because I'm so unique and different than everybody else.
And another one that gets me, I just have a bad temper. Well, you can fix that. Like that's not it traits like that's what I'm saying. We're proud of things.
I just
like
get
that.
a little angry sometimes.
I'm just not very patient. I get very anxious. These are all things, but you know what? I don't know. It just, we don't need to let's celebrate improving.
So we are 0 for 2 on our national days. Both of them really stupid. How about National Absinthe Day? That is also
Absinthe?
Absinthe Day.
Like the
drink.
New Orleans liquor?
Yeah, like the
That's
liquor.
fine.
Yeah, all right. We got one, so we're cool with Absinthe
Well, it's
Day.
a cool kind of, let's read a little, do we have any facts on absinthe?
Nope.
It's very high proof.
Yes, it's similar to like
a
an
hallucinogenic.
So that I actually do have a little factoid about. That is a myth. It was a myth started by prohibitionist type folks that wanted to, frame that type of alcohol as being like the devil's work and stuff. So they're like, it makes you hallucinate.
Hallucinate.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. It makes you hallucinate and maybe attack your wife. So,
and then we'll celebrate that too.
Yeah, so that was as recent studies have shown does not actually have any like hallucinogenic effects outside of like whatever regular alcohol would do to you. It fucks you up the same way regular alcohol would.
I think
it's kind of like
week
Everclear as far as its high alcohol content.
National cheat on your spouse while they're at work, working hard to.
What day is that? Is that today?
Oh, I think it's like 2 weeks from now.
Okay, put it on your calendars.
Cheat on your spouse while they're working hard to support the family.
And does that go both ways? Yeah, I guess that's good.
Man.
Equal opportunity.
Yeah,
that's good.
So that's 2 weeks. 2 weeks from yesterday. So 2 Tuesdays.
Yeah, and that's what I call equality. That's good. Put it on your calendars, folks. Make sure to take advantage of that.
But any other national day?
Yep. So the national day will also recognize our friends Scott today is National Scott Day.
Ooh.
So shouts out any Scots? Any Scots we want to recognize? He's shaking his head. I think that is a no. No. Any famous Scots? Scott's Stapp? What's his name?
Scott Staff.
Yeah.
Creed.
Creed. Shouts out to him. Can you take me higher? You know the one.
Scott Stevens, Michael Scott.
Michael Scott. You miss 100% of the shots you never take. Michael Scott.
And you don't meet 100% of the Scott's hands you don't shake.
That's also true.
Scott Storch? Scott probably is...
Producer?
Scott is last on all these things that we just named.
What do you mean? Oh.
It's my least favorite. I'd rather celebrate multiple personalities than
wow. Scott's really getting the downgrade here. So we are 1 out of 3 on national days. Do better next time. Thanks, producer Tony, for those shithole days.
Number 1 on National Fuck Scott Day.
That's tomorrow. We recognize Scots today. We just say fuck them because we're annoyed by them by tomorrow.
Not annoyed by them, just
perturbed.
Personal vendetta
against all Scots. At least it's not National Dustin Day, right?
I say Scott's up there with Dustin for me.
Wow, that's interesting. I even have feelings against the name Dustin just from a few run-ins with Dustins in time. But I didn't realize that Scott was on a similar kind of level with hatred from Xavi. That's great. Good to know.
Well,
what about all-time great Rams coach Scott Linehan?
I'll just paint this picture real quick.
Paint it for us.
One of my exes
lives in Texas.
One of my exes had a friend named Scott,
mm-hmm.
and it was the whole. He's just a friend, you know.
You say he's just a friend,
and that was not the case.
Oh, baby, you.
So that was that's just burning it because that's and then Scott when he come around did not trust him. Kind of seemed phony.
Yeah. When he comes around.
People have actually commented on how often you sing into the mic.
That's how my brain works, so people get to experience it.
So yeah, that's just a little, And
I lean back from the mic when I sing.
Scott, like the guy she tells you not to worry about, that's Scott.
Yep. Scotty doesn't know, dude.
No, yeah.
At least I didn't sing that one.
Scotty did know this time.
Scotty did fucking know.
And just the vibe that guy gave me the whole time, too.
Major Scott vibes.
Yeah, which is also an ego problem by me, obviously. And we can recognize that. We shouldn't celebrate it.
No. Today, all the days are shit, except for absence.
Dude, so in my time in New Orleans,
yes.
Love the city of New Orleans.
Shouts out.
Love it, love it, love it. National New Orleans Day, I'm all in.
If you want to talk about a city that I feel like I'm connected to, even though I've never been to, it would be New Orleans.
But, yeah, absinthe. But when I went there, they said they used to be, like, hallucinogenic, and now it's no longer. So I don't know.
So it used
that's
to
what
be
That's what the patrons of New Orleans said, the bartenders there.
Yeah, but maybe that's just urban legend.
I'm not saying urban legend or not. I'm just telling you what the locals there, they tell people, like, now it's just like,
didn't even it's
like 175 proof.
Yeah, it's super.
I did a shot of it.
Yeah.
I became a man that day.
That was your first time ever trying absinthe?
First and only.
Yep. What did it taste like? Alcohol?
Yeah, like it's like it had more flavor than Everclear, but
okay.
I mean, it was still like you don't taste much but the alcohol. Yeah.
Burning. Yeah.
Yeah. From my memory, like this is, 11 years ago. Also, obviously, if you're drinking absinthe and you're drinking all day, like the memories surrounding that, I want to say a little black licoricey, which I'm not a fan of, but not like Jaeger is more black licoricey and like less alcohol. And it's like the opposite for absinthe.
Yeah. I've never tried absinthe.
Woo.
I might, but I don't know. Me and shooting anything is just not something that's enjoyable.
Fireball.
So. Huh?
Even Fireball,
Yeah, I would just rather not.
That's a funny story, right? Remember we were all at Kilroy's, KOK?
Oh, yeah. A little wrong pipe action.
I'm dancing on the table to Super Bass this night.
Yeah.
Tony Cole's in town.
We're vibing on the patio.
And Fireball shots were bought for the table because people at the table I was just vibing with. We were making friends. I was dancing, just having a good old time. Mizzou had lost that day to Indiana.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're not going to let this fucking day define us.
Nope.
We're going to go turn this time upside down.
Hey, we won't back down.
We had a good-ass time. People send over a shot of Fireballs from another table at the bar.
Yeah.
We all do it. Bob's wearing my Mizzou Jeremy Macklin jersey, if I remember correctly.
Somebody was wearing it.
And
I couldn't remember it.
Bob goes to shoot this Fireball and just absolutely chorks.
No, it wasn't like a vomit like that. It was like a big cough. No, dude, you got that wrong.
All over the place.
It was not like a vomit. It was a...
You puked on Maddie.
It was like a cough from all the Fireball. It was just the liquid from that. It wasn't
Maddie
like
caught
fucking,
shrapnel, right?
Maybe. Probably.
But speaking of Bob stories, my mom texted, because she's a little couple podcasts behind.
Okay.
She wanted to share this story, her favorite Bob story.
Hell yeah.
And she was driving down Oak Hill.
Uh-huh.
Bob's 15 at this time.
Yeah.
And
15 and a half.
She pulls up and sees Bob
at the stop sign. It's like a four-way stop
in
intersection.
a geostorm. And just like realizes that he sees my mom and like, do you try to duck or what happened?
No, I just said beep, just went on about my way.
So my mom caught just Bob driving when she knew that he was not supposed to be, but
unlicensed.
To her credit,
I had a permit. I had my permit.
You're driving to Taco Bell, I think.
I couldn't tell you. That would be the wrong direction for Taco Bell. Probably Quick Trip. My brother in Christ.
But she didn't tell Jeff.
Yep, she's a real one for that. I would be, I'd get my own self outed shortly thereafter for similar. So there's a night, I don't know how, I can't even think of in relation when it was when I ran into your mom while driving, but there was a night where my dad had a band job, so he was going to be gone until, midnight or so. And I was going to go over to this chick's house.
Cara?
Val. Sam's friend Val. Remember?
Yeah.
So I was gonna go over to her house.
Wait,
and
Sam who?
What?
Sam who?
What's her last name? Fox.
Sam Fox. Yes.
Her friend Val.
Duh. Gosh.
Bringing it back.
That was more than half a lifetime ago.
Yep. So Yeah, I had been to her house like a couple times previously, but I like rode my bike over there, and she, probably lived like a mile and a half away, so a decent little bike ride. But so he's got a gig one night, my old man, and I'm like, oh, fuck this. So I get the car, and the car that's going to be my first car was Joe's old car. He had left for the basic training at that point, so he was gonzo. And so, I hopped in the car and drove over to her house. We're chilling, hanging out around like 9:30, close to 10 o'clock. I had like one of the, a prepaid minute cell phone, like with loaded minutes on it, like a block phone. And I get a phone call at like 9:45. It's my old man. I answer it, and I'm like, oh, hello? Just trying to be like, oh, yeah, I'm asleep. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? I said, oh, just laying down, getting ready to go to sleep. He's like, yeah, is that right? I said, yeah. He said, that's bullshit. He's like, I'm home. You're not here. The car's not here. Where the fuck are you? Get your ass home right now. I'm like, holy shit. All right. So all I can remember is driving home, and that car, the Geo, was a stick shift. Remember? It was a manual, and the drive between her house and my house was like nothing but stop signs. So I'm having to like stop and shift this car, and I'm like fucking nervous and shit. I'm like, God, I'm gonna get in so much trouble when I get home. So I wasn't allowed to get my license for like an extra 6 months because of that incident.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. That's when the hammer started to come down in the authoritarian state of Jeff.
Yeah, my mom said that wasn't the only time she had caught you. I can't remember the other time, but...
Look, sometimes life offers these adventures, and you just got to go for them, and whatever the consequences may be.
How many times did you sneak out of that back window when you had that on the middle floor there?
Yeah, tough to say.
That was like the Jackie days, right? You were...
Yeah, hopped out of there and went over, rode the bike to her house in the middle of the night, came back home as the sun was coming up, and would be woken up for school about a half an hour later. Some crazy times for 8th graders, brother.
Well, it was freshman year when me and you got caught together.
Yeah, walking over to
Tory
trying to walk
to, right? Emily Pier,
somebody's house. Yeah,
and my Aunt Lisa narked on us
because that was going to be
right.
Yeah, she did. She said, I saw them walking. And it's like, it would have been a pretty decent little walk for us. I mean, it wasn't like it was a close little walk. That was a handful of blocks and miles away. But we were determined. We weren't going to miss out.
I remember my mom called and the same thing. She was like, where are you? And I was like, oh, we're at Bob's. She's like, I hear cars. And I was like, oh, we're on the front porch.
That's crazy.
People are just flying down fucking Humphrey, Wyoming.
Yep. Good times. So that's good. Thanks, Colleen, for sharing that story.
Yeah.
I didn't forget about it. Trust me. I remember it as clear as day. And it didn't, like I said, it didn't turn me off from driving my car without the license anyway.
Maybe she should have told you.
And then, he got home. He was home early because the gig they were playing, I guess, like the place wasn't busy, so they like cut him 2 hours early. So I got screwed. I was planning on him being home much later.
The POP.
POP, what's that?
I'll fill in the blank. But what to do for a woman sometimes can get you in some trouble.
Yeah. It's usually most of the risks I were taking was because my penis was telling me to do things.
And that's what I was saying, the POP.
Oh, I see.
The power of.
Yeah, dude. It's factual. So, fuck Scott. And that's it for our national days. So, let's see. This past weekend, we both had some things going on. I played with the Heydays. We had a gig downtown, and it was nice. We had a real rowdy crowd from all the Mardi Gras celebration happening. The place was packed out, shoulder to shoulder, folks throughout the whole building. Probably, 100 or so people, maybe, probably not 200, somewhere between 100 and 200. Good people, good crowd. There was a little rowdy. The door guy had to be on it. There was 2 times when people threw cans like up towards the stage just because they were getting too rowdy. They had to get thrown out. But good show. Good vibes. Nothing else really happened exciting over the weekend. But I know you had your trivia on Friday, right?
Yeah, trivia was good. It was
Happy belated to Abby.
Yeah, pretty cool environment and vibes at the zoo, So
and that was just like a regular trivia night. It wasn't, and you did your Taylor theme, right? That's the deal.
Yeah, I was in the yellow Luther Burden shirt for LB3. The Fearless album.
So I'll say it. I'll put it out there now.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to slander Taylor.
No.
I didn't do.
There's no walking back.
I'm walking it back.
No, you got to go. No, now you dive into the stink. Now, you can't just walk things back like that.
No. I'm not bursting that bubble. People can like whatever they like.
You got your ass punked by Swifties, bro.
Yep, that's what we'll say.
Well, what happened? I thought there was emails and everything you were sharing.
I'm just saying, she's just, look, if people want to like what they like, that's great. I'm not here to shit on it. I don't like manufactured pop stars.
Abby wanted to make clear, because I kind of told her what was happening, and she said that Taylor writes all of her own stuff. It's documented.
Yeah, they're really good at painting the picture how they want.
Well, so you're not walking it back.
I'm not here to talk about the past. And like I said, I'm not here to also my intention is not to shit on something that anybody likes. So that's all.
That was clearly your intention.
No, I'm just trying to say why it's not for me.
But I feel like now, though, if you make this dance, you have to at least explain yourself. I'm not trying to come at you or say you're wrong, but if you make a bold statement, I feel like, maybe explain yourself, and maybe you can shed some light on why you thought that.
Why I thought what? I still think what I think.
Taylor's manufactured. She's overrated. She doesn't write her own music, as a lot of people say.
I said, yeah, she doesn't write the majority of her music. She probably writes one line of lyrics every so often. Maybe more, sometimes more. But all I'm saying is it's not the picture that people think they have of her is not the whole picture. It's the picture that everybody wants you to have. The photos, the videos, the promotion, the interviews, every single thing that she does has been curated, so don't.
By the Illuminati?
Yep, by the Illuminati. No, by her parents, by her managers, by her coaches, by her teachers, everybody that is in her team that has been paid for to be helping her is shaped the picture that we have of her in the public eye. Anytime that if she's never caught doing anything candid on camera, she always knows when there's a camera nearby and she's going to act accordingly.
Like her tipping staff.
Yeah. She knows that she's being filmed. She knows how she needs to act to maintain an image because that's been taught to her. So, like I said, people like what they like. And if none of those, if they like what they like, they like what they like.
Here's what I'll say. I like a lot of Taylor Swift's music for what it is.
And I like a lot of her music, too, for what it is.
But what I am saying is I do think...
And I think Love Story is a great song.
But what I'm going to say is that somebody who has been in several publicized failed relationships, you got to start to wonder the common denominator there in these failed relationships.
Yeah.
And maybe Taylor could be...
I also don't like her... This is going to get me ran, but that's fine.
Her voice, but...
Not her voice. She's got bad girl... She's got mean girl energy. She likes to act like a mean girl.
Well, that's what I was getting at, is that she does have some immature tendencies when it comes to... she befriends exes of her exes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. That's noted.
Yeah.
And that's just like... It's odd behavior, but people don't recognize it as odd behavior because they're more in love with the other things that they think they know about her, I guess. So, and like I said, that's not what I want to do. I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. I don't want to sit there and, try to break down negative things about somebody because, at the end of the day, what does fandom for her do? It does bring a lot of positives. It does bring a lot of positives for people, so it's hard to try to say that that's a negative thing. But it does show just the power of of good marketing to influence people's opinions.
And you would say a lot of young girls look up to Taylor Swift, right?
I think that seems to be the case, in my understanding, yeah.
So this is a transition here, so stay with me.
I'm with you.
And if you could think of like a figure in modern day who a lot of young boys look up to.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's bad.
Who would it be?
Joe Rogan.
No, whoa. No, I don't think that's the case.
I think it's more than you think. A lot of young kids get all their information from Joe Rogan podcast.
Well, he has a lot of very informed people on the podcast.
Yeah, but he also gives a voice to people that don't deserve to have a voice.
Who?
If you have somebody come on who is an expert about a subject and you have somebody come on who's not an expert about the subject, their opinions aren't equal.
Yeah, but when he has people who are experts on said subjects, then people mock him. Like he had people that were very deep into like the COVID analysis, and then like people made fun of Joe Rogan and said that he takes horse tranquilizers and stuff. Like, so it's just. But anyway, that's not even what I was getting at.
I mean, that's part of the problem too. Is just people hold opinions of those that aren't experts as high as people that are experts, and that's weird. Like, why wouldn't we listen to somebody who's an expert on a subject?
Well, you just said you wouldn't.
I didn't say that.
If he's on Joe Rogan, you said you wouldn't listen to him.
I didn't say that. I said that he gives people he gives people equal time that shouldn't have equal time. He gives the non-experts just as much time as he gives the experts.
Who?
I don't have direct examples, my friend. I don't listen to Joe Rogan. I just
that is the thing here. That is Bob is doing what he hates what other people do.
True.
And that is forming his opinion based off of groupthink.
Hearsay.
And that's fine.
I don't know the story, and it doesn't matter. And here, let me tell you why.
Yeah, I do. I want to say, like, you are the Swiftie in this instance, jumping on and piling on, because while I'm not a fan of a lot of people on Joe Rogan, and I'm not an avid listener, I can say that most of the time the people he has on are very well knowledgeable in the subject that they're on to talk about. PhDs, have done books, research. Graham Hancock.
Yeah, he has those as like some of his guests.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He has those as a lot of his guests.
I get, like, if
but
people don't
he
like...
has other people that aren't those that give opinions that are like broken down and analyzed and given just as much weight as the experts that he has on his show. And I don't think that that's necessarily a good thing.
Yeah, but
and it's more that we're talking about his reach.
I don't think Joe Rogan's funny. Let me be honest. I don't think he's a great comedian at all, and I don't even think he is that smart of a guy. But I do think some of the people he has on are really well respected in their fields. So it's kind of a misrepresentation to say, like, you know, wouldn't you rather have somebody listening to like Neil deGrasse Tyson on the Joe Rogan podcast than whatever Call Her Daddy is talking about, like.
Yeah, and again, I'm not talking about all of his guests, and I said that he has a lot of guests that are obviously, educated and are the experts in their field, but he gives the same platform to show an opposite viewpoint from people that maybe aren't experts in those fields. And
that's why I was asking who, because I don't recall.
Well, I guess I'll have to look it up for next time.
I think that was just a narrative being spun. But anyways... Make-A-Wish, when you think of Make-A-Wish, who is a figure that you know in the public eye does a lot of Make-A-Wishes?
Athlete or not athlete? Are you
in the middle there?
Are you trying to steer me towards a certain person?
Yeah,
here?
But I think that your head's under a rock when it comes to the subject. So
probably.
I will say it's John Cena.
Oh, what?
Yeah, what do you mean? What?
I wouldn't have thought that he's still got influence with the young demographic.
Granted, thousands of Make-A-Wishes.
I mean, sure, that makes sense.
And for the first time...
Can't see me. Or can't see this. I don't know. What's he say?
This is crazy that Bob thinks that John Cena is just irrelevant to like kids.
I don't think he's irrelevant. I just didn't know that he's like still pretty popular with the youth. I thought he had his time like 10 years ago.
Well, he is popular enough that this weekend, which I was getting at, the Elimination Chamber, for the first time in his illustrious career, he turned heel.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of non-wrestling, he turned bad.
Oh,
with
baby.
The Rock. And I'll paint this picture.
The Rock, too? Come on. It was cool until you said The Rock turned heel.
No, The Rock's already heel.
Well, I think I knew that.
So the storyline is The Rock was trying to get Cody Rhodes Cody Rhodes, who is the current champion, the big baby face of modern wrestling.
Yep.
The Rock was trying to get Cody Rhodes to sell his soul to him. The Rock said, I will own your soul, and you will have all the fame and everything that you want. Comes down, and then the Elimination Chamber, the winner of the 6 men will get to face Cody Rhodes for the championship at WrestleMania. Familiar?
Yeah, I heard of it.
Kind of a big deal.
WrestleMania.
So then John Cena
can't see me.
Wins the Elimination Chamber.
Ooh.
Crowd seems pretty happy.
Has he been like wrestling?
No.
John Cena just shows up and everybody's like, oh, that makes sense that he'd win this match. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like the advice I gave to Taylor Swift a couple weeks ago. If you don't want because people were turning on John Cena because he was so big for so long. Mm-hmm. People were booing him. You just get tired of it.
Yeah.
Natural humans.
Overexposure.
So, naturally, after not being in the spotlight that much in WWE world, he comes out to a pretty big pop or applause to you non-wrestling fans.
Yeah, needed that.
And he wins. So he's going to face Cody Rhodes. It's the end of the Elimination Chamber. Then The Rock, or Cody Rhodes comes out first. Mm-hmm. Him and John Cena hug. They show a mutual respect. They're both baby faces. They're going to face each other at WrestleMania. Then The Rock's music comes on.
What's his music?
If you smell what The Rock is cooking. But that plays, but then it's an audible.
Omaha!
Travis Scott's music plays.
Like the rapper?
Yeah. So Travis Scott comes walking out, and then The Rock comes out. And he comes out with Travis Scott, who has no affiliation with wrestling to this point.
Okay, yeah. Little new pop.
They come down, and then The Rock's like, have you thought about my offer? You could...
For the soul?
Yeah. I have your
Randy
soul,
Rhodes.
but you have everything else.
Cody Rhodes.
It's kind of painting kind of like an Illuminati type, aspect. Like basically The Rock saying like, join us.
Come to the table.
And Cody Rhodes ultimately says, no.
Ooh,
he actually says, he said, go fuck yourself, Rock.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because they're on the old Netflix.
He said, go fuck yourself,
Was
Rock.
this Netflix televised?
Peacock.
Ooh, Peacock.
Netflix does Raw. Peacock does the
regular stuff.
Yeah, well, pay-per-views, but they're now not called that. It's escaping me what they're called now.
Specialized programming,
something along those lines. Anyways, so John Cena's like, yeah, woohoo! Cody Rhodes stuck up for himself, but Cody Rhodes is like, I sold my soul to these fans in this ring a long time ago. And The Rock's like looking like, oh my God, how could anybody turn down my offer? John Cena embraces Cody Rhodes, and as he's doing that, he's locking eyes with The Rock. John Cena
making the googly eyes.
And The Rock basically gives him one of these, thumb across the throat. And John Cena's face goes to like very villainous.
Oh no, he's gonna give him the...
And he fucking slams him in the FU.
Dang.
And everybody just pandemonium there. And meanwhile, this is like,
were flowing.
I don't know if you know this, but in the 90s, Hulk Hogan, same deal, always was a face turned heel when he joined the NWO. Huge moment in pop culture and in wrestling history, but it kind of broke through to like, non-wrestling news.
Yeah.
And this is like that same level. And I think it's funny that during this huge moment in wrestling history, Travis Scott's just randomly in the ring.
Hype dude, man.
And this got 500 million views on social media.
Gosh.
So it dominated.
How did it escape?
That's what I was like surprised about. But, to each its own. And then Travis Scott even goes over while Cody Rhodes on the ground. They all just beat... The Rock's got a belt that he carries with him that says, like, the People's Champ, and he's whipping Cody Rhodes with this belt. They bloodied him up. They hit him in the face with it. Dang. And Travis Scott goes and punches Cody Rhodes in the ear.
Jesus.
And in the face, and he's, like, really punching him.
I'm going to say, I don't think he trained
the aftermath of this, he busted Cody. Travis Scott burst Cody Rhodes' eardrums and gave him a black eye.
What an idiot.
So
what's he doing? What are they... The non-wrestler, he just got caught up. He's like, yeah, beat his ass.
So I just thought that was funny.
Cody Rhodes would be legit pissed. He should be legit pissed.
Yeah, so if you could watch that probably after this, it's pretty funny because you can see it in slow motion on it. He literally just wails on Cody Rhodes just laying there and bursts his eardrum, like in real life.
Yeah.
And gave him a black eye.
Too far, Travis. Too far. Go back to having concerts where people get smashed because you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, but so I just had to cover that because it was a huge moment. I know
thanks for enlightening me. I didn't know, but good.
And so like on the next Raw, they're showing all the live reactions. People, fans and stuff. It's the thing now.
Tears,
and there's just kids crying.
Yeah, it has to be.
Like, how did this happen?
Not Cena, no.
And Cena, he might need to come on home with the hair or go to Turkey or something.
I haven't seen him.
He is looking his age, dude.
What's he rocking? Has he got the monk happening or like the friar tuck?
The monk is where you have like that bald spot right here.
Yeah, but has he got hair in front or is it just like the
hair in front? But like the bald spot was pretty predominant.
Yeah,
and it's like you just need to come on home, Johnny.
Shit, or get off the pot. Either get something done or.
But it's crazy because like, The Rock still just looks like The Rock.
The Rock do be The Rock.
And you can say steroids, but all these guys are doing steroids, and whatever The Rock's doing, his genetics are different.
And he got rid of his hair,
Yeah, he came on home
the fucking 90s or whatever.
Yeah, like early 2000s. But so that's just my wrestling talk, and
good wrap up. I mean, you had me intrigued on hearing the babyface story, the turn. I always like a good turn story.
Yeah, especially one that's fucking 20 years in the making.
Yep. The build up and the release. How will John Cena ever get the fans back on his side? Does he care? Do you think he's like, well, what did it take for them to sell this idea to him and him be like, yeah, I'll do this?
I don't know.
Even though there's so many kids that love me and I make all these wishes.
Triple H is the guy to ask. He's a creative lead there now. And I'm back in fully on wrestling. I watched Raw the next
Xavi's
day.
In.
Yeah, I'm not going to miss any. I'm going to watch all the
Just
SmackDown.
When he thought he was out, they pulled him
good.
Back in.
It is good. The women on there are so talented, and that's like a difference from when I used to watch it to now.
Yeah.
And if you, I think it's really, really like good what they're doing and cool to watch. Like the women were stealing the show. Like, and back in the early 2000s, to your point, where we used to, it was kind of very masculine, dominated, bra and panty matches. Now the women wrestlers I thought that was one of the better fights of the night was the women's elimination chamber. And then on the following Raw, the women had also stole the show. I think they're a lot of really good talent. So if you're a woman who liked wrestling back then, it's now even better, and you have a lot more representation.
Yeah.
So just cool stuff over in wrestling.
So get your asses on down to a wrestling rink. Nope. Wrestling
ring
near you. Yeah. Do that. No, I'm intrigued. Thanks for updating me. Keep me posted on how that goes. I won't watch it myself, but let me know how it goes.
Yeah.
When's WrestleMania? Do we know?
It's 6 weeks from
Groundhog's Day?
Yeah, it's like 6 weeks. It's in April.
Oh, a little Masties, a little WrestleMania.
Things are awesome. Things are only up from here.
Turning around, baby. I do love this time of year. Things are getting reborn. My soul feels fresh and renewed after dying off over winter a little bit.
Yeah, it is. It's that time where turning season.
Mm-hmm. Turning season. So, any tales from the servers table? I know you said it was overall a good week, so nothing crazy, but some good stories maybe. Little good encounters. Yeah, Rosalita's Roundup. Ooh, that could be a better segment. Rosalita's Roundup. We could sponsor it.
Rosalita's Roundup. So Monday usually is like, because I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
4 days of the week. And usually Monday is like the slow day. And after working, all weekend, I'm just like, fuck Monday. Just get through it. And this past
Big
Monday
case of the
was,
Garfields. I hate Mondays.
Yeah, definitely. And I was not one to go in. I even took like a 30-minute nap in my car before in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I go in there, just drain Celsius and a Red Bull just to get me going.
Yeah.
And so I actually get a big top, which is a surprise because usually on Mondays I'm just like $50. I'm out of there.
Yeah.
But this particular Monday, I got a 10 top, a business. They said they're all on one tab.
Okay.
They get their check up to like $330.
Okay.
And at this point, because sometimes businesses are hit or miss. So I autogratted them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And the autograt was like $55. And I go to tell a guy, like, hey, that's autogratted. He's on the phone and does one of these, like, I'm on the phone.
Hey, buddy, I'm on the phone.
I was like, all right, I won't tell you. And he tipped me $66 because he thought that the final bill with the autograt was his total bill.
Yeah.
So he tipped on top of that. So I ended up making like $115 off of this guy, which I thought was, kind of poetic justice for that guy. Oh, I'm on the phone.
Yeah, dude, like we're having an interaction here. You can fuck off on this phone call for a second.
Yeah, so
appreciate that.
So that was a pretty good, I end up, doing pretty
That's
well.
your Rosalita's Roundup.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one. You always like those surprise business lunches are usually pretty solid. It's much better. Although on a good Monday when you're like...
Dinner.
Oh, it was dinner even too.
Yeah, Monday
That's
dinner.
Surprising.
Terrible. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, usually on Mondays, you get Ruth and Betty meeting for their monthly lunch.
Combo, iced tea with a lemon.
Yep, that's the one. 2 soft chicken tacos.
Heaven forbid you're walking the fucking cup to the table and the lemon comes off. You set it down, and before you can even tell them what happens, can I get a lemon too?
They want to make their own lemonade.
13.26, 15 like 38 with a drink, and you'll get $2.50.
Yep, but you'll get. Made sure you have to fill up that iced tea about 3-4 times.
Oh my God! But anyway, that's
Rosalita's Roundup. So that's good. So then we have. I guess we wanted. Last week we celebrated Billy's. You work with Billy, and then we got your brother Billy. You were a little annoyed when I called you this morning.
Well, yes, and this is because so Billy is the only one who leaves for work early, like early.
Early.
So Wednesdays are the days trash recycling come. So like the only thing I ask him to do is just Wednesday mornings, can you pull the trash can recycling bin down?
Yeah,
so it can be
take
picked
it to
up.
the end of the driveway for the
last
trash
week
guy.
He forgot, which is fine. People forget. We're humans. We make mistakes. So last night, I was like, Billy, can you take this out now so you don't forget? I'm going to do some cleaning tomorrow. Really would like to have some empty trash cans because they're over full, which is, you can only do so much cleaning when your trash cans are full.
You got nowhere to go with the trash.
Yeah. He's like, oh, well, actually, I'm waking up at 5:45 now for work, so I'll do it in the morning. I was like, okay, please do not forget. And people can tell where the story's going, but just to paint a little more of a picture, I said like 5 times, like, what are you not going to forget to do tomorrow? Take the trash down. Do you want me to text you? No, I'll remember.
I've all heard that one before.
Doing the dishes, starting to clean up, and I go to go take some recycling out, and I do not see the trash can recycling bin. And I was like, what? So I call him immediately. What'd you forget to do? Oh, God. I can't believe it.
I just... The amount of surprised he is with his own... Oh, my gosh, I can't believe it. Like, dude, you were reminded. And you can't even believe it now. All of a sudden, you can't believe it? You can't believe it, Billy.
I can believe it.
Exactly.
Like, I am almost just as much at fault here.
He said, you know what? I knew this. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Can't get fooled again.
We're going to go 3 weeks now.
Oh, man, you're going to have to...
I mean, it's... So, yeah, I was annoyed. I was annoyed. I didn't scream at him because, for the most part, he pays his bills on time. He pays his rent on time. But it's like, oh, dude. I mean, come on.
What are you doing? So, yeah, I thought that was a fun little anecdote, and that kind of led me to thinking about, roommates that we've had in the past and different habits and annoyances and things that have gotten on my nerves and your nerves and maybe even things that I've done or that you've done that have also annoyed other people or other roommates, right? So I have a list here. It is the 12 most annoying things housemates do, and this is from the National Student Accommodation Survey. So do you want to take any guesses here on the 12 things that are the most annoying? And we can run down this list.
Dishes.
That is, in fact, the number one most annoying thing. 64% of the people who took the survey say that leaving dirty dishes out is the most annoying habit. I'd probably say that I tend to agree. I don't know that I was ever terrible at it, but I feel like I'm especially like on top of it these days. If I'm cooking, if I'm doing anything with a dish in the house, as soon as I'm done using that dish, it's rinsed. And if it's not immediately put into the dishwasher, it's rinsed and put into like our, we got the two sides of the sink or whatever. So it's put on the rinsed side of the sink so that if it needs to be hand washed, we got some things that we need to hand wash instead of putting it in the dishwasher. I rinse it, always rinse it, and put it there immediately after using it. I don't know if you remember, but we had a roommate at a point that really enjoyed leaving globs of ketchup on their plate.
Emily Barker.
Shots fired.
Well, yes. You guys also, though, can we go back here? You and Emily, for people in your 20s, used ketchup like a 5-year-old that like half the bottle and you'd have 3 French fries, half the bottle.
I don't know that was the case for my perspective. I didn't use it. I used ketchup for a lot of things, but I don't feel like I globbed it.
I know the other person in that house, non-communications with, going to listen to this, and I wish we could get that person to tell us how much excessive ketchup that both of you use. You didn't leave the ketchup, because I will say dry ketchup on a plate is like,
it's the bane. Like, that shit's my God, the devil's work. But I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe I did, but I really tried to only put out as much ketchup as I thought I was going to use, and sometimes I'd probably put a little more.
But that is like out of dishes, and I'm not the best roommate, like, because there's times where I'll be burnt out from work, and I don't even like the levels of efficiency that I'm keeping up with stuff. But I will say, I haven't even. A lot of times, like you, I want to clean up after I cook, but there's times like last night, I got home, I cooked a steak and all that stuff, and then I went to my bedroom to watch TV while I ate dinner. And by the time I was done, it was like 10:30, and I was like, I'll clean up tomorrow. Yeah, which I did. But,
yep. And I mean, that's everybody's way of doing it's their way of doing it.
I prefer it your way, I'm saying, but sometimes I know that I can be lazy.
And like I said, it's not like I've always had these habits, and it's especially now, like if I'm cooking, I'll try to rinse and take care of as many dishes while I'm in the process of cooking as I can. Like if I used anything to prep the stuff I'm cooking, I'll get that stuff cleaned, and I'll end up with like just a pot, at the end that has whatever it is I'm finished making, or a pan. Like I'll end up with 1 or 2 dishes at the very end. After
some stuff you want the stuff to sit overnight and rinse it, soaking, making it easier to clean.
Sometimes, yeah, but sometimes those things are the things that I can clean right away. Like if I make a pot of spaghetti, and if there's leftovers, I take it out of the pot, put it in, a little saving Tupperware. Cleaning out that spaghetti sauce while it's still like not dry and not hard is easier than it is to like just let soak overnight.
I'll agree with that.
But if something does sit in a pot and the pot gets a little crusty, I agree. Letting it soak overnight, nothing wrong with it. But take care of it the next day.
This is just list 1.
And but you can see why people said that was their number 1, most annoying habit from the roommates, housemates, because we have a lot of feelings on that. So, all right, guesses for the rest of the list.
Just general cleanliness, I'd say. Cleaning up after yourself. But that's kind of dishes too.
I think that's number 2 here. Not helping with cleaning. 56% of people say that that's one of their least favorite things. And so the percentages of people that voted it as being like their most annoying I believe, so that means 56% of people say that not helping cleaning is their most annoying thing.
Well, I'll comment on this too then if I can.
Do it.
So where that becomes a problem, and here's where I lie within. The first few times, like, I was like, you don't want to live in a mess, right? So
Correct.
so I would start cleaning up, and doing the mopping and the sweeping. And, one of my other roommates would be a big part of that helping too.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where other people living there, not doing any cleaning. So then I'm like, well, I don't want to just keep cleaning them after them and setting this precedent that I'm their like fucking maid or something.
Yep.
But then, that's the battle I've got into now because I've kept cleaning
Big
up.
time.
But then I don't want to be the only one cleaning, so I'll leave it to somebody else to finally do. But then the house starts getting so messy, and you're like, well, I don't want to live in this mess. And that's the cycle we're in right now, where it's like tomorrow it's going to be a deep clean for me.
Yep.
But it's like, once again, I will be the one doing the deep cleaning.
Yeah. I guess I agree with you. You don't want to enable somebody's, bad habits or lack thereof helping with the cleaning. So I guess, but I think that, and because I agree that I think that for the longest time I'd be in that same boat where I would just be like, you know what, fuck this. I'm not going to do all this cleaning on my own. I'm not going to clean up other people's messes. But now at my age and my level of maturity, I'm so mature. I feel as though I would much rather just pick up whatever it is that's a mess and have it done than leaving it because it wasn't my mess and letting things grow, because then as things grow, it becomes a bigger problem and it's more of a headache to then deal with because then it's more difficult. You got to commit more time to doing it, because it builds on itself. So I'm one would say, get the shit clean, have it clean, and then just try to stay on top of it best you can. If it's not my mess, I'm like, you know what? I don't give a shit, really. I'm mad. And usually I'll make a mention. I'll clean it up, but later on I'll mention like, hey, when you made yourself ice cream earlier, you made a big ass mess on the counter. I'd appreciate it if you didn't leave that mess on the counter when you do it next time. And 9 times out of 10, that message lands and they'll, change their behavior.
Yeah.
I don't know. Easier said than done, but I've found that I would much rather clean more frequent small messes than less frequently clean big mess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I think that would make the most sense, but obviously everybody gets into their schedule, the routine, the human laziness factor after you've had a long day kicks in, and I try to, anyways, next guess.
But also, fuck you for not helping cleaning up the house. If you live in a house with somebody else, clean your shit up, because fuck you. That's what. So yeah, what do you got for your next guess? What do you think?
Probably something with bathrooms. Shared bathrooms would be kind of a hard thing, but that goes under the line of cleanliness sometimes, or just timing of showers, maybe laundry.
Well, which one do we want to go with? There's a few of those on there.
List.
So we have taking too long in the shower is number 11. 20% of people are annoyed by that. And along those same lines of things you were saying, we have leaving the toilet seat up. That is number 10 on the list, 22% of people.
That seems more like a couple.
The housemates, whoever, you're living with somebody.
But if you're living with the opposite sex, usually it's, not in your case back in Indiana, but I feel like a lot of times that's like more of a marital.
It kind of is, but honestly, maybe it was just instilled in me at a young age. I find it more... This is weird almost, but more welcoming for a bathroom if I walk in and at least that first seat's down. I'd rather both toilet seats be down when I walk in, honestly.
Welcoming?
Yeah. I think I said it's weird to say.
Come on in, Bob.
It's just that it is. It's like, oh, this isn't, maybe it's because when the seat is up and you can just see all the pee speckles on the rim, you're like, yikes, this toilet, when's the last time this thing was cleaned? And like at least if the seats are down, I don't see like pee on the rim.
Like a 7-Eleven or something. A Quick Trip. That's all.
I've walked into a lot of bachelor pads that they have pretty speckled toilet seat, like the rim of the toilet bowl, not the seat, but sometimes the seat because they don't pick up the seat to pee.
But right now I have my own bathroom. I do share the shower, but.
And it's such a habit for me. If I use the toilet, I put the seat down right away, and that's just growing up. I had, mothers, grandmas, aunts, uncles, and that was a courtesy that was instilled in me, I guess, to always put the seat down.
When I think of Menigmans, I think of clean bathrooms.
Seat was always down when it needed to be.
No, well, if I think of Menigman bathroom, I think of KC 95.
Yep. And then some K-Hits 96.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, the good stuff.
So
then on that same one you were talking about bathrooms, it's not changing the toilet roll was number 7 on the list. 25% of people.
That could be an issue.
That could be an issue. How mad are you if you walk into a shared bathroom and the roll has like just one slice on it? Somebody was like, you know what? I know that's basically the end of this roll, but I'm just going to leave it for the next.
I don't think I've encountered that much, but it'd be pretty annoying. Yeah,
dude, I had it happen in both of our bathrooms last week. I happened to be the one to use the bathroom. We have 2 bathrooms. Like one bathroom is a full bathroom, the other one just is a toilet and a sink bathroom. So I found myself being the lucky one to use both of those bathrooms at a time when they were down to like one little slice left.
Did you walk outside with pants around your ankles?
No, we have extra rolls in those bathrooms, but I ended up being the one that had
that inconvenient.
But see, our extra rolls are like they're. It's not inconvenient, but they come in a package that's like wrapped, so each roll's got their own wrapping. So you have to grab the roll, unwrap it, and then the little glued part, the first page that's glued, you have to undo that and put it on the holder. So it's takes a few seconds. But my whole point is I ended up being the one to go in both bathrooms and have to do that because somebody was like, "I'll just leave the roll with one little slice left that you're not going to be able to do anything with." Cool.
Yeah. Well, number 3 probably is paying bills or rent on time, right?
Let it be, be. They did not put that on here. This is most annoying things housemates do, so I guess they're leaving out that part. That wasn't a question, maybe.
People are just paying rent and bills on time, I guess.
Listen, dang, these people are responsible with money, but they can't clean a dish to save their fucking life.
Yeah.
So number 3, do you want me to start just giving them?
Go ahead. We'll power through here because we're.
What, are you bored?
No,
bored?
I'm not bored.
Sounds like you're bored.
No, I'm just saying we're going like 10 minutes per. That'd be an hour and, 11 segments. That'd be like an hour and 40-minute segment.
Well, you think every little one of these is a segment? We're just having a discussion.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Number 3, being too loud. 46% of people.
Oh, that was going to be. Damn it! I wish I would have.
Yeah, what a fucking idiot. Good job.
Especially when I lived in a fucking loft that
the ceilings were like gone on the top of the walls.
The walls don't go all the way to the ceilings. So that is a problem, especially when it comes to like,
romantic encounters.
Romantic encounters, and you can just hear every fucking.
Hi, puppy!
Jesus. Every thrust, every clap.
Oh no! You said this is not fun. Yep.
That's got to be the number 1, right?
It's number 3. I mean, kind of.
No, I'm talking about as far as loudness, like what they're talking about is like.
You think so? Like sex noises or
from my experience,
from roommates are like the ones. I guess if somebody's like, say, imagine somebody's up playing video games and they got the TV cranked or whatever, that would be pretty annoying too.
That can be, but I have not experienced that as much as the other ones.
Sure. I think I was. Oh, poor Dan Bryan. I'll apologize to him now. He was trying to study for his Series 6 test.
It's just so inconsiderate.
It's just so inconsiderate. Look, once again, my penis getting me in trouble.
I'd rather you like just literally take ketchup and dump it on my head than if I'm trying to study or even fucking watch a show and you have such animalistic instincts. You're so far removed from like being considered a human being that you can control yourself.
In my mind,
I'm not saying you.
I'm here saying I know that Dan was annoyed because he made it known that he was annoyed the next day. With the noises that were, I guess, being made. But in my mind, we weren't being all that rumpus. But I guess that there was some rumpus room activity happening that was loud and obnoxious for Dan. So poor Dan Bryan, just trying to be responsible and study for his test so he can make real money. And all I'm trying to do is get hammered with this coworker from the dealership and slide.
Coworker? Didn't you date her?
No. This is right before I started dating Amanda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this was just like a one-off type of deal. Yeah, wild times. Sorry, Dan. So that one, I'm guilty of that for being too loud, but not always. Just every so often. So I've been guilty of that. Number 4, leaving lights on or appliances. I'll also say that I was guilty of that. I enjoyed a radio on in my room at a quiet volume, just always, because I'd like to
We've
walk.
We've covered this before on the podcast.
Have we?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, we talked about how we were saying that you were leading into a very high electric bill, and you went.
Yeah. So, I leave radio on in my room, had done that since the time I was a small child. It's a level of comfort thing. I don't do it these days. I've grown. Now I'm just alone with my thoughts all the time, like a fucking adult, I guess.
Or you just have AirPods.
I'll do that, but I'm not going to just walk into my bedroom at night with AirPods on, Anyhow, so left the radio on in the room at all times, and that was a big annoyance for my other roommates. They weren't fans of that, and I can understand the annoyance behind it.
I don't think I cared that much.
No, but you drew party lines. You were on party not have it on. Or no, you were more on party just pay more because you have it on.
No, I was on party don't want it to be my problem.
Yeah. Not my problem.
I mean, a lot of times, like, I
he said, I got my own battles to fight.
I didn't need any help getting fucking... Never mind.
So anyway, I'm sorry. I'm guilty of also leaving appliances on. But I'm not bad about leaving lights on in a room. I'm good at turning lights off when I leave a room. Do you have any problems with those things annoying you?
No.
Okay.
I just turn it off.
If you see somebody else left it on?
I think, I do pretty good at turning the lights off. But I haven't always.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely know as a kid. But now... I do. One of my roommates does have a habit of leaving their bathroom light and their bedroom light on at all times, and I'll just open the door and beep, beep. And I don't ever say anything, because I do also think, like, because bitching, it's not going to be on there, but bitching should be top 3.
Yeah, but where do you draw that line between, like, reasonable request and bitching?
You don't ever have to bitch. Because, like... Sometimes it's just easier to do it. I'll give it going back. Okay,
but
let's
then
rear back a little bit too.
We'll
tie this in with the Rosalitas Roundup. There is a manager when we are so fucking busy, every table seated. She'll walk around and try. We need somebody to roll silverware. That's how she talks, by the way. That is a spot.
Sweet.
I don't know what's happened in her past, but that is how now she talks.
Like a
we
cartoon
need somebody
character
to roll silverware, and she'll go around, and we're all fucking busy. I don't have time. So my point is, it took you more time,
right,
to go find somebody to roll silverware than if you would have just stopped and done it your fucking self.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's something to be said about that. But we were just talking about, like, when it comes to cleaning up at the house, like, if you're cleaning messes and somebody doesn't clean their messes, like, are you just going to be like,
no, that's different.
Don't complain about it.
But
don't say anything to them. But it's a light, but it's also increasing an electric bill.
Yeah, and you could say, like, hey, like, left your light on again. But if you're ever like, it's for the last fucking time. So that's what I guess creates a bigger problem than the lights in general.
Yeah.
Communication.
So how does it's just how the tone of the communication goes determines if it's bitching or if it's just like a friendly reminder?
Yeah.
Okay.
And with lights, it can always be a friendly reminder.
All right. Or what if somebody left the oven on for hours?
Now, that can be a little more serious the second or third time.
Yep.
Hey, like, dude, this is fucking costing us a lot of money. Also, you're putting the whole house and all of our possessions at risk. Like, we cannot have this happen. That can be delivered like that.
Okay.
But if you're saying, hey, we cannot have you leave the bathroom light on anymore, I mean, again, I don't think it's going to affect the electric bill that much.
No. It would affect it more than leaving a radio on, though.
Well, take that up with Maddie and Emily.
I'll send him an invoice. So that was number 4. Number 5 is leaving food to rot, like leaving food out
the fridge,
in the fridge, even out of the fridge.
Yeah,
any kind of leaving food.
I think that's probably everybody is victims of that, right?
40% of people voted for that as being the number 1, but that's 5. I mean, we know we leave leftovers too long, but we throw them out pretty well promptly if we've left them too long. We don't leave them just sit and sit and sit. Push them further back in the fridge. Okay, not removing hair from plug holes. Yeah, showers. 28% of people.
I was the fault at that back when I lived with Marcus and Sean. Marcus and I shared a bathroom.
They do long hair.
And I remember one time Marcus and I's argument, like, you know when an argument comes up and then that leads to other things you have a problem with? That was this incident. Marcus and I had gotten an argument, and he was like, Xavi, I swear to fucking God, he's like, I'm done cleaning your fucking hair out of the fucking drain. So I went in there all pissed off and scrubbed that bitch down like Mr. Clean, the whole fucking bathroom, dude.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
Yep. We got that going on pretty here, but I think everybody's pretty responsible for their own hair removal in this house. So that's good. We already said number 7 about not changing the toilet paper roll. That's 25% of people voted for. Number 8, stealing food. Say you went to the grocery store, you stocked up for the week, you come home, your roommate is digging into the do-si-dos. What are you doing?
I avoid that now. If there's stuff that I don't want my roommates to have, I bring it into my room and kind of have like a little...
What if it's refrigerated?
That's usually, like, I don't have a problem with that right now. Like,
they're not stealing like a frozen pizza or something?
In the past, the biggest thing ever, and I can tell a story about this.
Yeah.
Is like during COVID when I had to move back into my parents' house. I like to have goldfish. With salad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Love to have it. I have to have it. So I ordered emo salad.
Ooh, looking forward to it.
I had just bought some goldfish like a couple days prior. So salad gets there, goldfish gone.
Yep.
I knock on Billy's door. Actually, probably don't knock. I go into Billy's room.
Billy! Where the fuck are my goldfish?
Say, Billy, did you have the goldfish? I ate them. I'm sorry.
He's having a rough sode.
And he's FaceTiming with his ex-fiance, girlfriend at the time, whatever. And I was like, dude, I said, if you're going to eat the last of something, you should replace it.
Yeah.
Oh, go replace it now. I said, well, no, now is not an option because now my salad is here. And I'm probably
ready.
I am overreacting.
That's okay.
But, rough time of my life.
Yeah, but he also ate your fucking goldfish without replacing them.
But here's what set me off is he would not break his FaceTime with Krista to make eye contact with me. So then I snatch his phone out of his hand.
Snatch.
He gets up in my face, said, what the fuck are you doing? And at this point, I'm like, oh, we have a challenge.
Said, oh, engaged.
So I jump up, grab him, and immediately just kick him into a guillotine on the bed. And I was like, yeah, you fucking tough guy now, huh? You want to fucking get in my face again? And I'm like fucking punching his legs and shit. And then Aria, my dog...
She wasn't having it.
Yeah, she didn't like violence, dude. She came in and fucking saved Billy.
Oh, no.
Bit me in the leg.
Dang.
To get me off of him. And I felt bad for her, really, because I was like, yeah, I got her all worked up, So I gave her some garlic bread that I also had ordered. But Billy, I did not give, I was still worked up.
He got no garlic bread.
No, I wouldn't let go of his phone.
Yeah, that's good.
So... He goes outside, and like looking back now, I do feel bad because I used to get into these moods where I was like, once I reach a certain level, like now I just want to be vindictive.
Sure.
And I was pissed off. So,
you know what?
Billy stayed outside crying and stuff. I had Billy's phone. Like a couple hours go by, my parents get home, and he's like, crying to them about the phone back, and I'm telling my parents like, I'm not giving it back.
Yeah.
So, this went on for a few hours before I finally agreed to give Billy his phone back. So, and that all led from roommates stealing food.
Goldfish and stealing food.
That's my story.
Yep. And I almost feel like it should maybe be a little higher on this list of number 8. Because, we know our other roommate at a time, shared roommate, Jeff, sent us a nice long text going off thinking that one of us stole his sour cream and cheddar ruffles when, in fact, his high ass did not have them where he thought he put them.
No, and he didn't text us. He was screaming throughout the house. Where are my fucking ruffles? Who ate my fucking sour cream and cheddar ruffles? Fucking screaming. Me and you even left the house. And that's when he texts us, sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is a rare sorry. Found them.
Yeah. So, as we see, stealing food can trigger roommates.
I have a lot of things that I know that I can do. I would say I'm pretty good at not stealing food. I buy what I want. If I want food, I have it.
Only food I steal is freshman year of high school cafeteria lunches.
Yeah, but I'm not stealing my roommate's food.
No.
I might text him, like, there's times, because Billy never eats his leftovers, and there's times where I'll see leftovers in the food for a third day, and I'm like, yo, can I have this? Otherwise, I know it's just going to sit in there for eternity.
And see number whatever it was for food rotting. All right, so that was number 8. So number 9, leaving windows open, 23% of people. We already said 10 with leaving the toilet seat up. Number 11, taking long showers. And number 12, this is an interesting one, and I'll see if you can guess it. It involves, I don't know how it can, I'm trying to think
not
of it.
locking the door?
Annoying habits of roommates. All right, number 12, 14% of people voted for this one, and is moving a partner in. Yeah. I haven't necessarily had a experience of my own where I was living with somebody and then they moved a partner in. So it's hard for me to say if that would annoy me. But I think the most common thing is somebody's going to at least talk to you about it before doing it. I think where it becomes a major problem is if somebody just starts bringing their partner in all the time without ever talking to their roommates. Like, that's when it really becomes a little bit of an
that's
annoyance.
why my old roommate moved out. But I'll talk about this, because moving into this place, I had told him, like, hey, Desi will probably be over 3 or 4 nights of the week. She lives all the way out in Hazelwood, yada, yada. He's like, won't be a problem. Desi, very quiet person, really to herself a lot of times, never really Morgan, at first, when I first moved in, liked it. He'd always look forward to us being there. He'd interact with us. We were barely ever home.
Mm-hmm.
But then it got to a point where Morgan, he was struggling to pay his own stuff and got into some financial issues. So then one day, like, he was being very distant, and he was like, hey, you know, if Desi's going to be here the 3-4 nights a week, she's going to have to start paying bills and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I was like, hey, we could talk about that, yada, yada. But then, like, so she started making a conscious effort of not
being around
that often.
Yeah.
But then it got to a point where one night she had spent the night, and it was like my mom picked her up in the morning because they had Sarah's bridal shower and then Abby's 21st birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So Desi's car was outside.
Oh, yeah, throughout the day.
But so more like a few days after that go by, he's just still not talking. I thought we had a good talk and on the same page, and he's like, just said, I'm moving out. Yeah. Right after we had this talk, you know, Saturday, I had a Saturday off, so I had the house to myself, but I stayed in my room all day because Desi was here. I was like, Desi was gone all Saturday.
Yeah.
And
he just assumed
he was like,
she was
yeah,
there
her car was out there, and
right.
Being, you know, 30-year-old with communication skills of a fucking toddler decided that was the best. I feel like a lot of that communication.
Yeah, most of these things can be solved with proper communication. I can be
a fault at a lot of these. I say I have pretty good communication skills.
Yes.
When it comes to navigating these things.
Yeah, and we've gotten better with it over time. So yeah,
so that
was that article about the 12 most annoying of housemates' habits. Glad to get that out of the way.
Glad to get.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's interesting, good conversation. I just mean glad to get that out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of personal experience, obviously.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it's time for our Mount
I would
Rush.
like to hear this too, because some of our listeners maybe not have as many roommate history, but like, what are some of the problems of living with a partner or even a wife or some stuff? Like, but there could be differences, like the way you navigate some of those things when you have like these relationship and you know what I mean. Like maybe the problems change, maybe they're the same.
Maybe I feel like, you know, in my experience, living with a partner now for close to 5 years. A lot of the same stuff comes up with your roommates has come up in our living situation, and you know it's handled pretty similarly. If anything, it's easier, I guess, to communicate with a partner about sharing responsibilities and expectations or whatever, and things that whatever if they annoy you or things that you like. You know, I don't know.
And here's the thing, and I think we can all be guilty of sometimes letting things fester on too long, or you don't know how to bring it up, or it's awkward. But what I have a problem with is when you finally reach that boiling point, do not take that anger that you didn't nip in the butt right away out. You have to realize also that you were not addressing this. And a lot of times I think people will like all of a sudden explode and then it can come off to the other person as in like, well, what the fuck? Like, why didn't you bring this up before?
Right.
Like, you cannot react off of the last 7 or 8 months or however long it may be off of something that you didn't nip in the butt.
Right. And I do think when you're, if you're like living with a partner or somebody that you're in a relationship with, you're more likely to be willing to clean the whole house if it's messes that aren't just your messes, as opposed to if it's just roommates that are your friends or something in your family. So you're more willing to do that. But then it also leaves you more susceptible to being consciously or not consciously taken advantage of, like, right? Because that person gets used to, this person's always going to clean the bathrooms, or this person's always going to clean the dishes. I don't have to do it because they always are going to do this. It's a double-edged sword.
You know what would be a way worse problem if you had with your partner than it was a roommate?
What's that?
Loud sex noises. hey, you were just keeping me up all last night.
I was trying to sleep, and I just, you and Johnny X over here were going at it like savages. Keep it down next time.
It just all came to my mind, and I just think, ooh.
I'd say that'd be one annoying habit with your partner for sure.
All right, moving on. Rivals or what?
Yeah, it's time. It's time. Beep, 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 beep. I spent about 3 minutes combing through some instrumentals I had to see if I could find some good music to play over our Mount Rushmore segment. We got nothing. I got nothing. I got nothing that I feel good about right now. I'll spend some more time throughout the week trying to find something for next week's Mount Rushmore. But this week, we're going to do Mount Rushmore of, get ready for it, NBA rivalries. That's right. We're going to do NBA rivals this week, and me not being very experienced in the realm of NBA, Xavi's going to take the lead.
I hate the fucking NBA.
It's the
association, as the kids call it.
The kids call it. Yeah, so I only know one rivalry in the NBA that is, I guess, like a true rivalry that has some history and dates back. Should I just say it? I feel like it's probably going to get named.
Go ahead.
That would be the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers.
And if we're being clear, it's the only rivalry. I mean,
you know what? This takes spot 1, 2, 3, and 4.
It's really the only fucking rivalry that matters.
Boston just always getting in these rivalries with everybody.
As a lifelong Laker fan, I'll tell you, you're just born with it. You can't just hop on to the Lakers. I know a lot of people try because LeBron's there. You're not a Lakers fan.
Yeah,
you can't just hop on to the Celtics. That's enough. You love these teams. Or you don't. There's no jumping on.
Yeah.
And
ride or die.
I fucking hate Boston. I hate the Celtics.
I
was gonna get a little too carried away. I'll save it.
No, come on.
No, it's not. It's not cool. It's not cool. What I was gonna say.
Fine.
Just in relation to Boston, you could fill in the blanks.
Okay.
But
marathons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
But I'll say this. Going back, obviously the Celtics have one more championship than the Lakers in history, and that's because last year they won.
Yeah. Thanks to St. Louis and Jason Tatum.
The majority of their championships were when there was like 2 teams in the NBA, and they had Bill Russell. He was 7 foot. The average height of the other guy in the NBA at the time was 4'9".
What the?
And they
fuck?
had a
4'9" was the average.
4'9", and they had
you
Bill
sure
Russell.
5'9".
And it was like 4'3". And
what?
They had Bill Russell.
What?
This is hyperbolic. Yeah.
Still.
But
I feel like we could have gotten a little better than 4'9". I'd have believed you if you said like 5'6". I'd be like, yeah, that sounds believable.
5'6" was probably more average. But I mean, they can have that. They won, 13 championships. They won 11 in a row with Bill Russell when they were playing
pretty good
Team SWAT down at the Y.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to them though. They piled them up. But then
get it in when you can.
You get in to the 80s, and there was a college rivalry, and you probably even know this. two stars in college, one at Michigan State, one at Indiana State. Do you know those players?
You got the Birdman, Mr. Larry Bird, and then you have what's his name?
No.
The other guy.
Racist.
No.
Jesus.
I wasn't alive in the 80s. It was Magic Johnson. Duh.
Magic Johnson. They go to the Lakers and the Celtics, and boom, boom, two of these historic Titans just ramps it up.
Yep.
And the Lakers got the best of them more often than not. Celtics still had their fair share, and then and then the Lakers, they start rattling them off, and then you come to 1999, and you have Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant. A three-peat in there. Could have been four. They didn't get the fourth in a row. They lost in the finals. But, I mean, what is there not to say about this rivalry?
Boston was one of the first teams to kind of do the mega team thing, the big three. Yeah.
And that's another thing that plays into this rivalry, which I was leading up to.
Oh, gosh. I stepped all over.
No, you're okay, but Lakers, Celtics round one, they had the big three plus Rajon Rondo, probably the most important piece of that team, going against the Kobe, Pau Gasol-led Lakers. And the Celtics got the best of them. They won. Then the Lakers, they go on, they beat the Magic, and then bam, we get a rematch. Lakers-Celtics, this time goes to Game 7. Lakers best them. And since then, the rivalry's been kind of stagnant. Lakers kind of been cheeks.
Yeah. But it's still one of the premier rivalries. I mean, it's a matchup in the league that if those two teams are playing each other, it's drawing eyeballs more than probably any other matchup.
Oh, yeah. My hatred has not dissipated any bit. And obviously, the Lakers won.
It ebbs and flows.
But it's all what I'm saying is now is cultivating right now. Lakers are number 2 in the West. Celtics are number 2 in the East. There is a legitimate chance that we could be back.
Yes, baby.
Jason Tatum from St. Louis, fuck him.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That'd be a tough one if it comes down to the old Lakers in Boston for me to have a rooting thing, just because I've been rooting for the success of Jason Tatum the last few years. But I always enjoy the Lakers besting Boston, so that's enjoyable for me.
Do you?
I do. I think that's a more enjoyable thing for me in the past. I liked watching Kobe beat the Lakers. That was enjoyable for me.
Celtics.
Yeah, sorry. Yikes. Jumping on top of my own words.
But, it's fun. And it's fun. And it's just as fun as it is for me to hate the Celtics. I think it's just as fun as Celtics to hate the Lakers. We are two hateable franchises.
Yeah.
Boston people are obnoxious. Lakers fans are obnoxious. They're just two hateable franchises with a lot of success. It creates for a really good rivalry.
Yeah. I mean, Batman wouldn't be Batman without Joker.
Yeah.
Joker wouldn't be Joker without Batman.
And I think, I don't know, the Lakers might be Joker in this. We are the villains. We get superstars. You're saying that Boston's the babyface? Probably.
Wow.
In this.
Interesting. So, all right, then, yeah, keeping in mind that the Lakers and the Celtics are all of the Mount Rushmore.
The Celtics are like the working man, kind of grindstone, blue collar, good team ball. The Lakers, I mean, they're the glamour, they're the glitz, they're the Ric Flairs.
They're the liberals. Everybody hates the liberals. In Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, going on to this year. But we're going to get to that later because a couple of these rivalries are not necessarily team versus team. But number two, like I was saying, though, we could consider the Lakers and Celtics rivalry in a league of its own. Basically, they're its own Mount Rushmore, and all these other ones are basically honorable mentions, but we'll have to fill up the... I would have to agree. More so than any other sport. It's Boston Lakers, and there's everyone else.
Yep. So go ahead. What's your next?
I'd say this is the last of my team rivalries, and that is going to be the Detroit Pistons and the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, Pistons, Bulls. You had the Bad Boys.
There you go.
And you had Michael Jordan.
And it's a good rivalry if Bob knows right away.
See? My basic culture knowledge of NBA is about that. That was big rivals. When that started in the early 80s, mid 80s? Or were they rivals probably
late
before then?
Late 80s, early 90s was like...
the height of it, if you will.
Because like you said, kind of, like the bad boy Pistons were running rampant in the late 80s.
Bad boys.
Early 90s when they had their championship success. and then you had young Michael. That was a hurdle he couldn't get past.
I love young Michael.
And those
beats
those
Jackson
bad
5.
boy Pistons were just beating the shit out of Michael Jordan.
You and I will make a pact.
And yeah, so like that became like a heated rivalry because it was like that hump that Michael couldn't get over early in his career, going into like his mid-20s.
It was his bugaboo trying to get over the Detroit, huh?
And then finally that tide changed, and it was still Pistons Bulls, but then obviously Michael was getting the best of them. There was a hatred very deep with Isaiah Thomas, the point guard for the Pistons, and Michael Jordan that led to Isaiah Thomas being left off the Dream Team, which was covered in The Last Dance, if most people watched, right?
Yeah, and I took that personally.
Yeah, so Michael, Isaiah, they hate each other. The bad boy Pistons, Bulls, huge rivalry. Number three, the Golden State Warriors.
Ooh, good.
Versus LeBron James.
Yeah, and all his moving abouts.
Because this is NBA rivalries. We never say team rivalries, right?
It's true. It's 100% correct. I like it. I like it because throughout all of Golden State's kind of dynasty run, if you will, semi-dynasty run, they were always going head-to-head with LeBron and whatever team he would end up on. He probably had 3 different teams in that time period where he was facing head up against Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, and you saw successes from both ends of this. I mean, obviously Golden State got the best, but during Golden State's best season, they infamously were up 3-1 against LeBron's Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron carries them all the way back. And they win in 7.
Yep.
And
the king.
Yeah, so I think it's a great rivalry. I mean, there was 4 years in a row where it was LeBron versus the Warriors in the finals.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds right.
And I mean, that's such a huge part of basketball history.
Yeah, big period of time that'll be looked at.
And it's funny because the number 1 championship, I think, out of all those where I said the Warriors bested them most of the time, but the one everybody's going to talk about is the Cleveland one because the Warriors were 73-9 that year, and the previous record was 72-10 by the Bulls, who won the championship.
It reminds me of the Patriots losing on their 16-0 season.
Very similar because they would have 73-9,
like a historically good winning team that loses the championship.
And they're up 3-1 though. They'd be like if the Patriots were winning 21-3 and lost to the Giants.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
And the first championship ever won by Cleveland. LeBron James comes back after leaving.
Cleveland.
I mean, it's crazy. It's gonna. And I know it's versus LeBron, but Kyrie hitting that shot, and then the end of that game, it was back and forth, defensive stops on all ends. Everybody remembers the LeBron James blocking Andre Iguodala off the backboard, but Kyrie hits a huge 3 that inevitably won that series. So.
I do remember that.
So that's that.
That's a good one. That's a good 3 so far, I'd say.
In the 4th one, it's going to be very recent, but this is a little more nuanced because I was struggling to think of anything that moved the needle, and right now, the most hatred I see is the Dallas Mavericks versus their own fan base.
Oh, I like that.
Do you like it?
I like that. That's good. It's that's a really good one. There's a lot of hatred there.
I mean, if you're not
big rivalry, I'd say, between those 2 camps.
Yeah. So that's what I ultimately chose. I know it's a little more of a nuanced pick, but right now in recent, I can't think of anybody who hates each other more than the ownership of the Dallas Mavericks and their own fan base.
Yep.
They traded a generational talent in Luka Doncic at 25 years old
for a bag of balls
to a powerhouse.
Right.
In the Los Angeles Lakers, who most, and rightfully so, most people hate.
Yep, NBA's villain.
For no reason. They trade because they say Luka's out of shape. They trade for Anthony Davis, who after one half of the ultimate Anthony Davis experience, he has 19 points, 11 rebounds, and one half gets hurt. Now he's going to be shut down for the year.
Yep.
Already, this fan base was livid before that happened. Nico Harrison is the GM of the Mavericks. The owner's there's a lot of rumors behind the scenes that this was a political play because they wanted to get some casino approved.
Yeah.
And Dallas didn't want to pay for it, so they're like, well, we'll show you. There's a lot of rumors that this is a long run to
sports gambling. I heard they want to get the sports gambling
and
approved in Texas.
They're trying to hold the whole thing. Like, we'll move to Vegas. Now this happens. Mm-hmm. Then not only that, they traded Quentin Grimes to Philadelphia for a guy named Cody Martin. He hasn't played yet for the Mavericks. Meanwhile, Quentin Grimes, another young player the Mavericks traded, he's averaging 25 points a game since they traded him.
Yep. It just shows the chasm that's been forming and is like becoming bigger and bigger between ownerships of sports teams and fan bases. You know, sports owners looking at it as a business and how do they grow that business and become more valuable, and they're doing whatever it takes for that side of things, where fans look at it as you need to do everything you can from a winning perspective, and that chasm has gotten bigger and bigger over the years.
And not only that, like what they got in return, obviously AD is an amazing player, but he's 32, he's injury prone as he's out for the year.
Right.
Kyrie has since torn his ACL, he's out for the year.
ACL Terry.
Mavericks fans, like, just to paint into a local perspective, is like the Mavs fans probably are feeling how Rams fans in St. Louis felt, like that level of hatred. And they just announced next year they're raising their season ticket prices by 10%.
Yeah,
what a slap in the face!
They're rope-a-doping them right now, dude.
So I think
they're taking out their big fat ownership cocks and their dick slapping their fans right in the face. They said, "We don't give a shit."
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I didn't know how you were going to think of that.
I think that's really good. I enjoy that list. I think that's really good. So we have the Lakers and the Celtics rivalry as head and shoulders the best rivalry in the NBA, and then we have the Pistons and the Bulls as another great true team rivalry in the NBA. And then we kind of break it down, and we get the Golden State Warriors and LeBron James kind of having a long-standing rivalry throughout the years. A lot of great matchups back and forth. And then last, with the real good call, we got the Dallas Mavericks ownership versus the fans. Two very differing sides that are at odds with each other.
I would say that the Mavs fans might hate their own team more than the Celtics and Lakers hate each other right now.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. You might be right. You might be right.
Because everything that's unfolded since that trade, too, they had two other centers that were also big. And like a lot of when they first made the trade, people were like, oh, well, if anything, which nobody really understood, but you could argue that maybe the Mavs are going for win now.
Right.
Even though they went to the finals and lost to the Celtics with Luka and Kyrie, they were like, maybe like this is a really balanced team now because they have three big centers. All three of those centers have not played since this trade, besides AD's one half.
Listen, we're not trying to win here.
The Lakers, meanwhile, have won 7 in a row.
Useful.
11 of their last 13 and have climbed to second. So, I mean, like, this is the Mavs fans are watching this happen.
So life is good.
Luka went for 30 and 15 last night and became the fourth Laker in history to do that.
Yeah. Life is good in La La Land.
So sorry. I mean, a lot of personal ties. I was passionate about that.
Well, it's okay. You're a resident NBA guru here. I don't watch the association so much. I enjoy playoff basketball. When it gets down to the nitty gritty, I like to tune in. But outside of that, I don't get a lot of watching NBA.
If it's Lakers Celtics, will you be watching?
Yeah. Well, postseason.
That's what I'm saying.
And I mean, if I'm out and about and there's a random NBA game on the TV, I'll put my eyes on it. I'm not like turned off by it, but I think college basketball intrigues me more when it comes to just watching the sport of basketball.
And we'll have that rivalry here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we figured we'd do the college basketball rivalries as we start to kick off March Madness tournament, which is just around the corner. So we got that to look forward to. So that was a good Mount Rushmore this week. We're going to wind the music down that's been going on in the background this whole time. That will be coming maybe next week for our Mount Rushmore segment. Nobody knows. So we got a lot of stuff covered this episode, I think. We talked about a lot of stuff. Anything to look forward to, Xavi? What you got going on this rest of this weekend?
Well, I'm going to an escape room tonight. We went last Wednesday. I think we're going to start making that a regular thing.
Are you going to go to the same one you went to or a different escape room?
Same one, I think, because there's 4 different ones there.
Okay. How'd you guys do last week?
We
you know
escaped.
My feelings on escape rooms.
We escaped with 4 minutes to go.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Nice. How did you feel?
It is exhilarating, man. It's exhilarating.
How many people do you have working on
We
it?
had 5. This week will be 4.
Okay.
One
Nice.
person from last week dropped out.
Do you know what the theme of this week's?
This week is a haunted one. So it's at the Darkness downtown.
Yeah, by Soulard.
Yeah. So
In Soulard, technically.
last week we did that.
Nice.
We did a pirate-themed one. This is a haunted one.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Well, let me know how you do.
Yeah.
Is it more or less than $37 a person?
Less.
Thank God.
By $5.
You know what? $32 is more appealing to me than $37. I'll say.
Because it's closer to 30 than 40.
Exactly.
Remember
that when I turned 37. Fuck! I'm closer to 40.
Yeah, right now it could be lumped in with 30-year-olds.
Yeah. Hi there, fellow youths.
As I have my hat on backwards.
I'll rock a backwards hat a lot still. I don't give a shit. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't think you're ever too old to rock a backwards hat.
What age can you start pulling off a visor?
Any age.
A visor?
Like with the open top and
Yes.
the visor around?
John
Not like
Gruden.
a poker visor?
No, John Gruden. Who wears a fucking poker visor besides a casino
Grandmas?
dealer? Yeah. Bingo players.
Yeah. I think you could wear a visor at any time. If you know what? If you got confidence in whatever it is you're wearing, you can rock it.
You should become a visor guy.
No, I was never a visor wearer. I tried visor briefly in like 5th grade. It just wasn't. It never felt right. I tried to even do the upside down.
Well, that was the style.
Yeah, dude. Couple polo t-shirts and a upside down visor.
Yeah, those were the times. Remember, and even NFL Street, like that became
Yeah.
like you could wear the visor, you'd wear it upside down, cockeyed, right?
Yep. Or backwards, upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck was a backwards, upside down visor gonna do for anything?
Add style.
Adds flair, for sure.
Yeah,
So
the
we
double
got,
polos, dude.
The double polos, for sure. That was an era.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a little walk down memory lane. But, yeah.
How do we even get down that
No.
walk? I was asking about what was coming up, and somehow we were talking about
Visors.
hats.
Who knows? But anyways, this weekend, just be my last.
Oh, escape rooms. We were talking about.
I got a
You were gonna
full
do the
weekend of
escape room
work
tonight.
because then the following weekend will be
Party Central.
Party Central.
Yeah.
PC.
Yep. Jamie's having a little bachelor excursion on Saturday. Bachelorette excursion this Saturday. So
Where?
they're gonna get some dinner, and then I think they got a room booked at like a Korean karaoke.
Oh.
Go for it! Come on. So they're gonna do the Korean karaoke for those that have never done Korean karaoke. It's fun. It's like you book a room and you can have your own private room for doing karaoke, and rather than like a general public room of karaoke. So they're gonna do that. I'm sure get nice and hammered, so they'll have a good time.
You have the house to yourself?
I do. I gotta deliver some gear for a show on Saturday morning, well, early afternoon, and then after that, I'm freezy deezy.
Oh, it's Saturday?
Yep.
Damn, I'm a double. I was going to say it could always be a fun Saturday excursion, but
Yep.
I need to work this weekend for your proverbial wedding.
Yeah. Get it in when you can.
We'll get one more episode in before you're cuffed up.
That's the plan.
Podcast probably coming to an end after that, but we'll have the old ball and chain.
Yep, that was, I think, going to be in her vows. I think she's going to say no more recording the stupid podcast.
We're going to do a live podcast from the wedding.
Maybe so.
We're running it back with Brady and Matt. So if you like that episode,
stay tuned.
You'll like 2 episodes from now. We'll try to get Bob on.
Involved in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. But, yeah, outside of that, not a lot. I got no gigs coming up because of finalizing stuff for the wedding.
No gigs.
No gigs.
A gig is a guy who can't get no love from me.
That's what I heard. Hanging out the best. Wait.
Passenger side.
God damn it. Almost had it. Almost had it.
So, I mean, yeah, pretty good. We covered a lot.
Yeah, I think it was good. Look forward to next time, Xavi.